Welcome to the Tin Biscuit Podcast. I hope you're all okay and doing well. So today's podcast, we have got the British Patriot on, and he's going to talk about a council tax strike. So I'll let him explain it all. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is the British Patriot. I am on the platform called X, formerly named Twitter. Me and a group of friends have organised a national council tax strike.
Right, and you, you say strike. What's the strike for?
Okay, so you've heard about the local elections being postponed, haven't you?
Yes, is it 9 boroughs that it's been cancelled in?
Yes,
And it's had
I can't think of the boroughs off the top of my head,
no.
but I know there's roughly around about nine, isn't there?
Yeah, and I think it was Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner that said it's to do with rejigging their local councils. Why them specific local councils? I don't know, but I have read rumours online in the papers and on the news. It's due to reform gathering momentum, and they will take the seats. And these are the local elections in May. So,
Yes, just to point out, it is May 2027.
it's May 27. It's going from, is it? It's not this year then.
Um, I think it's 2027. I know it's not this May the elections.
Right.
Um, so
Interesting.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's where we are at the moment with that.
because like you've got a group on decks, haven't you? You've I think there's Mark Heath. Is it Mark Heath?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's you.
The, the movement is run by Mark Heath. We have an admin that controls the community, called Lewis, and then you have myself. I'm pretty much the promoter because I've got sort of the most following, if you like.
Yes, and I've like looked at the group, and last time I looked, it was 5,000. But you did mention off mic that it's gone up to over 6,000 now, and that's
So
a
the
massive jump in that space of time.
so the group was created on the 9th of February, but with zero members other than me, Lewis, and Mark. Um, Overnight, 24 hours later, we have over 6,000 members.
That's insane.
It is
Um,
picking up momentum real quick.
And is it just these boroughs that these people are in the group, or is it from like sort of all over the UK?
Yeah, so it's a national strike. Um, a majority of the British people feel like they haven't got a voice. The manifesto that Labour gave us, it was full of lies. Everything they said they wouldn't do, they have done.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
a lot of people in Britain are rightfully angry.
yeah. Because like they've said that they won't put taxes up or like council tax. Now I did read somewhere. I believe it's Bradford. They've put up nearly. Is it something like 10%? Something
Yeah.
crazy like
Now I've
like.
heard in places like Birmingham, they're putting up like 25% because I did hear that Birmingham Council was going bankrupt not long back.
That's insane. 25%. You see, if they did it where I'm from the East Coast, so just like sort of just below Hull, I think I would pay what I'm paying now, and I wouldn't pay any more. But without paying this council tax, there's a lot of people that are afraid of the £1,000 fine.
Yeah.
They're afraid of
There is
prison.
something that I do want to stress. It is very important because we're not asking people to cancel their payments to council tax. We're asking people to withhold the payment. Now, you can go down the route and cancel it and not alert them. You will probably get bailiffs at your door. You will probably get letters and you will probably get emails too. Now, if you pick up the phone to them and say, I'm withholding my council tax for so and so reason. So if you're in one of the 9 boroughs that the local elections have been cancelled, you can ring up and you can say to them, right, I'm not happy. Um, I have a right to vote. You've taken that right away from me. I am withholding my council tax payment. Now, for those that don't live in the boroughs, the people. This is the idea I've got generally of people through speaking to people on the internet. For those that don't live in those boroughs, they're picking the phones up and they're going to say, right, we're not happy. We've got migrant hotels all across the country. Labour have lied in the manifesto. We've got pensions freezing to death. I mean, the list goes on, doesn't it, really?
It does, yeah. It does seem a bit shambolic. It's the Labour Party. But that's going to be the main thing, because like you've also, if you withheld your payment, is there like sort of a timeline from like withholding your payment? Because I do know there's like, is it a 2 or 3 strike that if you do miss that month's council tax, they can just take it all from you? Or
I mean,
like
I'm not entirely sure. Mark Heath. I'm sure you've spoke to Mark, haven't you?
yes. I
Yeah.
saw I expect to make a message.
Mark is currently emailing a professional who knows about the laws and ways around them, and he's currently gathering that information. But we're not asking people to cancel payments, just withhold them.
That's like quite important that that is stated.
For legal reasons. We don't want to go out there and encourage people to cancel payments, and then they end up that extra money that they get every month. They're thinking, oh, we can go out now, we can go down the booze and blow that money. We don't want to be responsible for none of that behaviour.
No, because Labour will blame it on you for that. Have you had much media attention?
Oh, just to let you know that the strike is planned. I think I missed it out earlier. It is planned for the 6th of April. So we're just sort of gathering everything together at the moment. We've got 7 weeks. Hopefully it doesn't go that far. Labour pick up on it, and then they sort of let us have a voice. If it goes further than that, then it goes further than that.
Have you had much have you had much media attention from it?
Yeah, my inbox is absolutely full. As I say, the group is growing rapidly. A lot of people they want interviews. I know Mark has a scheduled interview with GB News over the next day or 2.
Oh, excellent stuff.
Yeah, he also recently had a interview with Jim Ferguson on X. He's got a really high following, a really good platform. So it's been widely publicised through Jim Ferguson's platform.
Yeah, I did see that, and I have shared that. I think I've shared it a couple of times on my page as well. Is you say GB News, which is good, but has there been any more of the sort of like the mainstream media, like I don't know, Sky, BBC, any papers that have got in contact?
What do you think?
I don't know, but my guess,
mainstream media, they don't like to touch stories like that, do they? Let's be real, it's a far left propaganda service.
It definitely is, and they would put their own spin on it to like,
of course they would,
just like sort of demoralise the whole situation.
We're waiting for it. That's why we can't stress enough. We're not telling people to cancel payments. We're telling them to withhold it. What we initially say to people is when they ask us questions, oh, can we spend this money? No, you can't spend the money. Well, it's up to you what you do. It's your money, but we're advising you not to spend that money and put it in a separate account, in a savings account. Put it somewhere safe, so for future reference, when we're ready and our voices have been heard, we can continue paying and pay the remaining that we owe.
That completely makes sense. That's because I would just spend it because I'm crap with money. Even on that advice, I would still spend it. How long is the strike planned for? Is it like sort of 1 month, 2 months, or is it until the situation's been resolved or been in talks?
I mean, we're currently in talks about this at the moment. Me, Mark, and Lewis. We are in talks about where we go from here. It's a constant conversation that we're having because we're not entirely sure. We're building a following first, if you like. I mean, I did see on the Jim Ferguson's interview that it only needs at least 3% of the population to get involved, and it could potentially crash the economy, gaining the attention of the Labour Party. We're hoping it doesn't come to that. We just want to get our message out there, be heard, and hopefully they listen to us. We have our say, and things change. Then we don't have to strike.
Have you had any attention from Labour? Has any Labour MPs or any Labour councillors been in touch with any three of you before?
You're joking, aren't you?
Well, no, because obviously I'm just thinking like a normal person. Like if I was an MP and I saw a group, I would go out my way to say, listen, guys, girls, let's sit down, let's work together, let's work through this.
I mean, it's relatively new. It's picking up momentum. Who knows what's going to happen? Someone could reach out. Anything can happen, mate.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned. I just want to go back to when you said about the Labour manifesto, because they've done a lot of things that they said they wouldn't do and have done by keeping your council tax the same, which is not. They've like cancelled the winter fuel payments for old age pensioners. Many pensioners think not just that, but they've got it in for the old age pensioners. So from what I'm hearing, it's not specifically about the cancellation of the votes from local elections, but that is a major part. But it's like everything combined that Labour's done.
Yeah, a lot of people saying that Keir Starmer is a dictator. Now, in my opinion, yes, he is. He's coming to power on the pretenses of changing the economy, being for the people, and he's done completely the opposite. We got energy, we've got an energy crisis. OAP's freezing. The list continues, mate, and a lot of people are very fed up. That they are the fed up.
I think what pissed a lot of people off is when the incident at Southport happened, and then he just labelled everyone basically who was questioning things as far right, and that seemed to be one of the main things now. That if you question anything like sort of black or brown people, and this, that, or like the other, your class as far right. Now, back when I was young, I mean, I'm 45 now, so like when I was maybe 13, far right was like sort of things like hard far right, like sort of National Front.
I mean, I'm not
that.
as old as you, mate. I'm pretty young, but I've seen and I've heard the stories. Far right back in the 80s, 90s, skinheads, the go around. It was really reckless behaviour. People don't want to be labelled these labels. It's not nice, is it? I mean, you go to a protest. I don't know, Tommy Robinson protest.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people dislike Tommy. I'm 50-50 on him. You don't see skinheads there wanting to fight people. It's mainly old people wanting change for the country. When I say old, you're gonna laugh now. 45 onwards.
Oh, cheers for that. How old are you? Can I ask? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm 30. I am, mate.
Oh, you're not that like much younger than me then.
I feel young, so.
Well, that's the main thing. Yeah, he's a bit of a mixed bag, Tommy, like sort of Tommy Robinson.
Mate, my personal stance on immigration: if you come into the country legally, we know who you are. We have a background of your history. If you're going to keep flooding the country with men from different backgrounds, from different places, we don't know who they are. We don't know what crimes they committed. We don't know anything about them. And this is the problem. My personal problem: if you come over and you get a job and you're legal and you're paying your way, you're paying your taxes, you're assimilating, then for me, you're British. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely, definitely.
Because there was an incident. I think it was last year. I might be wrong. It has been relatively recently, within the sort of last 12 to 16 months. There was a guy that came from a different country. He committed a crime. Don't ask me what crime. My mind's gone completely blank. Well, he committed a crime. I'm sure it was against a woman. I don't want to speculate because, but he committed a crime. And then when the authorities got involved, they found out that before he came to the UK, he gunned down a person in a different country with an automatic weapon.
Fucking hell. That's quite severe.
This is the reality of it. We're bringing these people in. And these people, we don't know who they are. The crime rates are surprisingly high, especially in London. In London, there's a rape reported every hour. There's 150 phones stolen on a daily basis from motorbike snatches. So what they do is get the motorbikes, they drive past the people, snatch the phone, and carry on riding.
That's not necessarily people that are coming into the country, though.
Yeah, it's not necessarily people that are coming into the country, but it does have an impact because we're importing more people and the crime rates are going up. I mean, we've got 10k foreign nationals in the prisons.
Yeah, I mean, it does beg the question that we are a small island, and yet the passing through quite.
What my point was we were just adding. I'm not saying that all the crime is committed by illegal immigrants. I mean, we have our fair share in this country, don't we?
Definitely.
And we have our fair share in the country, and we should be dealing with our problems before importing other problems. Does that make sense?
That's 100% like sort of correct, and I don't think what people do realize is that certain cultures don't mix with other certain cultures, and that's not a racist thing. It's not a xenophobic thing. That's the truth.
No, I agree with that, mate. Yeah.
I mean, some cultures from like the East won't like work in like the West, and it's not being racist, but some, we sort of see it, and it's like people can't understand that, and there's no hatred with it. It's just cultures don't mix, and I think we've got a problem where we've got a lot of naive people thinking that everyone's the same, everyone thinks the same, all people are equal, and that's not always the case.
No, I agree with you 100%.
I just want to take you back to the council tax issue because we've covered that. What would you say if people say, well, if like you withhold like the council tax, we will withhold taking your bins, we'll withhold this, that, and the other that your council tax is used for? Do you, do you think the council has a right to? Sorry, go on. Sorry. No, I was going to say, do you think the council would have a right to do that? And I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
In my personal view,
yeah.
I mean, of course they have a right. I mean, at the end of the day, the workers have to be paid, don't they? But again, we haven't caused this. The Labour have caused this. They've lied. They're increasing all our bills. We live literally. They're making the poorer poorer, and they're making the richer richer. It's a problem that they've created, not us.
That's true. Yeah. No. And like I suppose you can only send so many petitions. You can only do so much, and you're still not listened to. And then sometimes you have got to take a bit of drastic action. The farmers have been in London this week. I think some might still be there. But have you thought about going down to London, organising a protest? Isn't like that something that you guys are looking at doing?
I mean, at the moment, we do have daily discussions on these matters. We are trying to sort of get everybody together. So we're trying to bring the farmers involved. We're trying to just get everybody to sort of unite, because it has to be a nation effort. It's pointless doing it if you've got 5,000-6,000. You need the numbers ultimately.
Yeah, no, that's right. What I'm getting from this, and it's a good thing, is like it started with this council tax thing, but it snowballed into something more, and it is now against the Labour government and their lies and bullshit and the stupid things that they push onto people, like trans women are women. There shouldn't be no sex toilets. I've just seen the new health minister they've got, and she's a fucking joke. So if we keep going down this line, we're like free speech is going to go is applied to Apple to like going to the cloud. He don't want anyone saying anything bad about any sort of different religion or any different race. It's come to shit. Yeah. So what's the plans from now then? Because like as I say, the group's growing and it's grown to like significantly. Mark's going to be on GB News. He's already been on the Ferguson show. You're on here. What sort of is there anything in the pipeline that you can talk about or say?
Right now, no. It's about uniting everyone. It's about coming together, and that's all I can say really.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, I've got a family member. She can't get the pension credit thing that she's like just maybe over a couple of pounds, a couple of pence over, and like that stops her getting the winter fuel like allowance.
Yeah, mate, it's terrible everywhere. Everyone's feeling the pinch. It's I speak to people on a daily basis, and everybody has their own reasons. I mean, I don't know whether you've heard recently in the news. There's a place in Old Stratford where the migrant men are coming out the hotels and they're standing at school gates taking photos of young girls.
Oh, is that because it's in their culture to do that, or like they don't understand our culture?
Now, I don't want to go down the route of that it's in their culture. I mean,
No, definitely not.
there's good and bad in everybody. I mean, Christians, you get good and bad. Islam, you get good and bad. But I just feel like we're importing the wrong people.
I mean, they say the refugees, and obviously this isn't what it's all about, but it just seems like there's just young men coming over.
Yeah,
There's
this
hardly
is the
any women
issue.
or
Yeah,
children.
this is the issue. A lot of people are raising these issues on a daily basis. As I said previously, people feel like they're not being heard. Everyone's being dismissed. It's getting out of control, mate. And we don't want to go down the route of doing this, but I just feel like we have to. It's the only option we have.
I mean, it's a scary thought to have labouring for another 4 years.
Yes, definitely. And especially cancelling the local elections when they know full well Reform are going to scoop up some seats.
I mean, love or hate Nigel Farage is like 50-50
Yeah, I'm not really
with
a big fan of Nigel Farage, but I do feel like that's the only party for us right now. It's the best out of a bad bunch, isn't it?
yes, definitely. It's like I mean, he did the age test going, not Nigel Farage, but Keir Starmer did not an age test, sorry, a HIV test.
Right, yeah, I heard about that in the
Yeah,
news.
I
I
mean,
haven't
and
read
it's
up about it yet.
no, and it's like sort of these tests are free because I think it's National Testing Week or like sort of something like this. But like, like sort of a lot of people are saying, what a weird thing to do, like sort of like a HIV test. Why am like, why would I mean, I wouldn't do one because I know I'm not been anywhere like that. But it's just strange for a PM.
Yeah, it is strange, isn't it? I mean, especially given the fact that in lockdown he had voice coach lessons. What was he being coached on?
And
That's the
he's also got,
question.
yeah, he's also got Lord Ali as well, hasn't he?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of speculation around that, isn't there? But it's one of those.
Definitely, yeah. So I mean, do people sort of stop you in the street? Have them like you've got flyers that I mean, I know it's a fairly new thing, but have you got ideas to go out in the street and campaign against it? Get in touch with like your local MP and say this is our group. We aren't happy. We
I
want you to
mean,
come in and talk to us.
um, we have had discussions surrounding these topics, but Mark sort of takes the lead. He's sort of the face of the movement, if you like. I'm just sort of the background guy who does all the write ups, promotions, and things like that. But yeah, we do regularly have discussions. As I said previously, we're just trying to unite everybody. We're trying to bring everybody on board. We need the support, and like I can't stress enough, we're not asking people to cancel council tax. We're not.
That
We
that's
vote.
very
That's
important.
very important that I keep saying that because let's say this goes ahead and Labour has a big fanny attack. We're the ones that created this. We're the ones that's going to get the backlash. Nobody else.
I think it's quite important. I can see one problem, and it's people are going to be scared of the repercussions, and that's going to be the main one. But I think if Labour do this, I think that will pave the way for them to do it in other parts of the country,
Yeah, possibly.
and that's where the problem will come. Because then you've got your choice taken away. And you did mention about Keir Starmer being a dictatorship, and
Yeah,
that's where we seem to be going. So yeah, well, thanks for coming on. You've
no problem,
explained
mate.
everything. If people want to know more about this, where would they go? And I will post all the links in the description.
The best place to go would be X, formerly Twitter. My handle is @BritLad95. If you would like to pop Mark's in the bottom and Lewis's, that would be fab.
Yeah, if you could send me them over, after this, that'd be great, and like we'll get them all in the description. What's your group called? I mean, can like you do a search on X and like find your group?
It's a community. I'm not familiar with communities. That's why we've allocated Lewis as the admin. It's a community. I don't know how easy it is to find. I'm guessing if you click on the sidebar on the left and the drop down bar comes and you click communities, if you type in the search bar council tax strike, we have over 6,000 members, and it's probably gone up since then.
Yeah, I don't think it's that hard to find, because I'm sure I've seen Right Said Fred post and like sort of something on it, and I've like seen a lot of famous people posting, so it's hitting the right things.
Yeah,
the right
definitely.
thing. And I mean, it'd be good if Elon Musk took like note of it, because like it'd be someone good.
Yeah. I mean, so, yeah, that would be great. But yeah, we just want to grow. We just want to sort of unite everybody.
Definitely.
That's the main goal right now.
What would you say to people if they agreed with you and they wanted to stand by you, but wasn't so keen on withholding the council's like tax? Would that be a problem, or like, you know, would your group still welcome them?
I mean, we will welcome anyone that supports us. We have found that people have tried to infiltrate the group, the far left, and put negative comments in there and scaremonger people. But we're quick to remove those comments. As I say, we're here to unite people. There's factual documents within the group saying what is legal and what isn't legal. Anybody listening, I'd suggest to go and check it out. Look for yourself. Your eyes don't lie. Read the documents in the group.
100%. It might be worth giving, is it Darren Nesbitt from like the Light newspaper, to give him a quick mail, because like he's been on my podcast before, but I mean, I don't know if you're aware of him, like the Light. Darren Nesbitt, he runs the Light newspaper. It's that free.
Not familiar. No, but it's something I'll pass on to Mark.
Yeah, what I'll do is I will send you his deets over after this then.
Yeah, fine, mate.
Well, thanks very much for coming on. You're welcome back on again. And if if like I can do out, we will.
Yeah, no worries. Excellent. Nice to meet you, mate. You have a nice
you too. You too, buddy.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.